Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to unpack something every single one of us deals with, yet very few of us actually know how to use. I'm talking about fear. Now, usually we treat fear like a disease, right? Like something to cure or hide from. But what if we've got the entire equation backward? What if fear isn't the enemy at all, but the exact tool you need to fight the real threat, which is stagnation? So, let me ask you, do you let fear paralyze you, or do you let it focus you? It's a choice, even when it absolutely doesn't feel like one. Think about it. When your heart starts pounding and your palms get sweaty, what's your default reaction? Do you freeze up or do you zero in? Okay, let's dive into this because answering this one question can literally rewire the way you live. Section 1. Fear is your friend, framing the big idea.
To really wrap our heads around this, we've got to look at retired U.S. Navy SEAL officer Jocko Willink. This is the guy who commanded SEAL Team 3's Task Unit Bruiser during the incredibly intense Battle of Ramadi. So for Jocko, fear came with very real life-or-death danger. But he says, fear is a good thing. Fear keeps you alive. It's what you do with that fear. Channel that energy into execution. You see, in a combat zone, treating fear as a weakness gets you killed. You don't deny it. You harness it as high-pressure fuel.
Which brings us to Section 2. Papa's take on fear, the biology of awareness.
Let's ground this intense wartime philosophy in our everyday biology, using a concept the author of our source newsletter calls Papa's Take. At the center of this whole process is your amygdala. When you're afraid, this little almond-shaped part of your brain goes completely hyperactive. It's essentially a biological alert system, pumping out cortisol to focus all of your senses on a perceived danger. We really need to destigmatize fear here. It's literally just your body saying, hey, pay attention, this matters.
Papa connects this biological alarm directly to our actual performance. The key here is to channel that physical fear through your preparation. You use that massive surge of chemicals to heighten your awareness of the present moment, and then you just fall back on your training to execute. If you've put in the repetitions beforehand, the fear doesn't break you. It just turns the volume way up on your focus.
Section 3. The danger of stagnation. The true horror. Now you might be wondering, what about the fear of failure? We're always told to overcome it, right? Well, Jocko actually argues that you should be afraid of failure because that fear is incredibly productive. It's what keeps you up at night planning, rehearsing, and forcing yourself to prepare. But there is a much, much darker fear that you need to cultivate, and that's the fear of stagnation. I mean, imagine the pure horror of waking up 6 days, 6 weeks, or 6 years from now and realizing you've made absolutely zero progress. Sitting on the sidelines, doing nothing, now that is the true nightmare. Section 4. Ownership and detachment. Taking control. So how do we fight off that stagnation? Well, you have to take control when life throws a rising tide of complexity at you. In his book, Extreme Ownership, Jocko argues that a leader must own everything in their world. But carrying that immense stress requires one absolutely crucial practice, and that's detachment. As Jocko says, relax, look around, make a call. When that emotional spiral hits you, you have to mentally step back, recognize what you simply cannot control, let it go, and then, only then, can you make a decisive, logical call. And making that call unfolds in a really straightforward, step-by-step way to confront the unknown. Step 1. Identify the problem. Figure out exactly what is standing in your way. Step 2. Attack it. Don't try to solve every single issue at once, right? Prioritize your biggest problem and execute. And step 3. Reassess and adjust. Look, things are going to go wrong, the situation will definitely change, and that's completely fine. Just reassess, course correct, and keep moving forward. Section 5. Discipline equals freedom, the daily test.
Let's bring this down to your daily reality. The very first test of your discipline happens the second your alarm clock goes off in the morning. Do you get up, or do you lie there in comfort and fall back to sleep? It seems tiny, I know, but giving in to weakness in that little moment actually bleeds into your larger decisions. Discipline is a daily choice. Sure, it feels pretty restrictive at first, but ultimately, having the discipline to do what needs to be done is exactly the pathway to freedom.
And when you're faced with something truly terrifying, I want you to imagine a parachutist standing at the open door of a plane in flight. Sometimes a person will freeze. They grab the door frames, they hesitate, and the longer they hesitate, the bigger the fear grows, until they become completely paralyzed. The lesson here? Don't let the moment of hesitation grow. You have to look at the door, put the fear aside, and just walk through it. Take that first step immediately. Section 6.
channel energy into execution, the synthesis.
So, what does this all mean for us? We've journeyed from the battlefields of Ramadi all the way to the biology of your own brain. Let's pull it all together. You need to recognize fear as a biological tool designed to focus you. When pressure mounts, step back and detach from the emotional stress. Take extreme ownership of your life. Choose discipline every single day. And always, always prioritize execution, because action is the ultimate antidote to fear. So, the crucial point is, if you take away just one core Papa-inspired thought from this entire explainer, let it be this. Fear can be useful to heighten awareness. Trying is what gets you to execute correctly in the moment. Channeled energy always beats hesitation. Which leaves us with one final thought to ponder today. Will you let fear shrink your world, keeping you safe but totally stagnant? Or will you use it as fuel to move decisively when it truly counts? The choice is entirely yours. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.